Hello, my name is Arend van Kampen. Last week I made a video on how nature sustains itself in Dutch. How does nature sustain itself? How can we as a species, as nature, as the environment survive? A lot of books have been written about that. And last week I read a book by Jeremy Lent, and he taught something about the teleology of life. The purpose-driven life is always survival. All living systems are automated or programmed to survive and evolve. This is what this world is. This world also is in a form of constant entropy. Physics, the second law of thermodynamics, proves that we are in an entropic world, although the other side, the negentropy, which means order, is proven by life, by our lives. So living systems can make use of this era of order, negentropy, in order to survive. So the total universe seems entropic, disorderly, but this stretch of life that started 4 billion years ago is negentropy, is a form of order in which we have the power to survive for the long term. So that brought me to how does functionality then of living systems occur? And information theory says now that information is needed to correct our life cycles. So entropy is a direct result of a lack of information. I'll explain these equations we built. Our perception of how to see the world. Life, the symbol Ankh, from the Egyptian symbol Ankh, minus information, so there will be an information deficit or a shortage. Beyond reality, so possibly we have to lie or cheat, will always end up in this symbol of entropy or disorder. So functionality is the question. It's not can we sustain life or is it sustainable? No, we have to ask how and what is needed to make sure that functionality of living systems, meaning our lives, but also the products, the corporations, the governments we build, is guaranteed. So we can then determine what are the requisites to ensure functionality of all these systems. We've done that in our research center, Sustenance for All, and came to this conclusion that functionality depends on the ability for cognition, which is processing of all information. Our lives, our bodies, DNA, nature, always does the same. Because it can process all information, it can work towards survival. But what we see now is that we do not allow all information because some people have ulterior motivations not to allow it. Therefore, all these organizations that do not allow correction by new information end up in entropy, disorder. So if we want to build stability, a social cohesion, a good government and governance system, we need all information to stay always and steer always within these limitations of reality or the boundaries of and for functionality. So we have to stay here, inside, because if we go outside, we always end up in the E, which is entropy. This is the realm, the area of negentropy, which is order. Now, we see now what happens with our democracies. Information is being stifled, forbidden, censored. So the voice of the demos, the people, cannot be heard or is not allowed to be heard anymore. Therefore, we decided and we designed a real new system of governance a government, which we called Noticracy. Notitia, Latin for information, cracy, Greek for governance, government. So now we have gone from reductionism towards complexity. Complexity can only be controlled in a nonlinear reality, which we have, by information, by steering, correcting, by feedback. Now, this feedback thing, you know, it's called, based on cybernetics. Cybernetics says that if you want to reach a goal, for example, I'm going to sail from Amsterdam to New York, just like the ship that sank there, the Titanic, sorry, the Titanic sank there because it got information about these icebergs that it ignored. So information ignored by the idea that that ship was indestructible. That was, of course, impossible. So the vessel, the Titanic, never reached New York. And that is what I'm just saying. That's a metaphor that we have to use all information. Another metaphor, cross the street, look only to the left, and see how far you get. Same principle applies. The information about the traffic coming from the right is essential to reach a goal the other side of the street. So symbolism, through this scientific basis, this is science, this is physics, this is cybernetics, this is information theory, we can use now to redesign everything and to make sure that all man-made systems can function for the long term without becoming harmful. I hope that you will do something with this lecture today, and let me know in the comments. Bye-bye.